Hello, I'm home now. Sandra Black. I am the author of Mother Enslaved, The Ultimate Betrayal. What the story is about is just utter corruption, utter refusal to do your job. This began as early as even in 2009 when the Adult Protection Agency was brought in, and they came out and he admitted on the stand that he only socialized with my mom, ate her food, and then said that there was nothing wrong. We have been suffering utter chaos because unlike most families that only have a dementia patient and then maybe a corrupt person, we have a dementia patient and a very, very evil, cruel person in our family. And they refuse to even look at our case to give my mom a chance at all. Once my brother convinced my mom that I was going to throw her in a nursing home and take all of her money, they believed everything my brother and my mother was saying. Terry Pollitt had planned to find nothing at all wrong with my mom when she made a call and found out that my mother had transferred $5,000 out of her savings account in to pay for my brother's loan that he made my mom take out. Well, actually, he asked her to take out $20,000 mortgage line of credit so that he could fix his house up, so that he could put tenants in his house and get money for his house. So with all of this being done, even after she found out that she had made a mistake, she still refused to look into the reality of what our family was about. I and my children have honestly been the only sole support of my mother, and that has been our lives. And she outright refused. I would call and call and call. Her secretary, I believe her name was Kim, would pick up. You could tell that she felt sorry, but they wouldn't. Terry had prejudiced herself because my brother is a very excellent con artist. And I'm sure that he most likely even told her that my sister has friends and my sister is this and my sister is that. And she apparently told my brother at that time that she was the guardian ad litem and the court would listen to her testimony, so it wouldn't matter what my friends were going to say or what anybody would testify to. So basically what happened is that Terry Pollitt outright refused to talk to any of my witnesses. She refused to talk to the neighbors. She refused to talk to nurses who worked in my mother's home day in and day out for years. They would not talk to anybody, and all of these people could have told that my mother spent far more time with me than with my brother. And in all actuality, my brother was very rarely seen around my mother's house up until he discovered that he could get a free ride. And the courts embraced that and made that happen for my brother. So my brother is not at fault. He's been this way all of his life. He's just been a very sick person. His own children, none of them, well, let me rephrase it. He has 3 blood children. And out of the 3 by blood, he cannot talk to 2 of them at all. He has 1 son that he still talks to. He has 2 stepchildren that he cannot talk to at all. because of the way he is. He has many of our family members that he does not talk to because of the way that he holds a grudge against people. So anything that if you ever do anything to offend him or hurt his feelings, then that's it. And my mother did. My mother went to court and she told the judge that my brother was too evil to have his own children. And I testified to this in court. I told them everything I'm telling you now. I told the judges, but none of them would listen. So eventually, as I had said earlier, when he tried to sue my mom for almost $250,000, and he insisted on having her entire check, monthly check, for the rest of her life, that was when I saw the opportunity to go back to court. And instead of Judge Kenworthy fixing the situation, realizing that, hey, you know, I made a mistake, let me go ahead and let her daughter help her. She recused herself eventually. And by doing that, the worst of all happened. A corrupt, evil judge. Many people, I've been protesting now for 3 weeks. Many people have come to me. They have told me about how this judge favors the businessman, how people have been put out of their homes in 7 days, not even giving them 30 days notice. These corrupt realtors now can just come in to him because they know that he's corrupt, and you can get an automatic eviction with an emergency order. 7 days. One woman that I met is in a wheelchair and explained to Judge Haas that she was disabled. It also appears that he has something against disabled people, severely against disabled people. Disabled does not mean dysfunctional. You know what this man told me? This judge told me that you are unfit and you will never have your mother. And then he went on to say, even if you never see your mother again, future choices will have that right over you. How can you be so corrupt, so cruel, so evil to do that to somebody who loves their mother? He knows now. I've been fighting this case for approximately 3 or 4 years before he came to it. And then you're going to get there and tell me that you don't even care if I never see my mother again. And all you see throughout the case is how close I am to my mother. How cruel, how monstrous of a human being could this person be? So I'm telling you this story because a lot of what is happening to me is things that is happening all over the United States. People are not doing their jobs. From the EEOC to the Human Rights Commissions to the adult protection agencies, the children are being violated. All they do is they go out and they look. Let me find A, let me find B. And then they go and report. And then wherever the chips fall, that's where they fall. And human beings, families are being destroyed because they know they have some kind of immunity. Don't nobody care. They get away with it. They are the experts, so they can do to us whatever they want. We have to stop this behavior. We have to come together. My mother is being abused, even though the acts are happening by my brother. My brother is not at fault. The mentally ill person should have never been put over my mother. And that's what has happened. In my case, I have a condition, and that condition is the reason why I'm disabled. I worked for 10 years as a chemical engineer, a black female. And the same thing that is happening to me now happened to me then. And I thank God that it happened because it prepared me because I don't know what I would have done had I not gone through torture for 10 years on the job and then come to this torture that I'm living now. So I'm prepared, and I've lived my life with a lot of torture and misuse and abuse and reporting it, and nobody helping me or my family in this case. And so it helped me out a lot. And because of all of that torture and abuse that I went through on the job, I become disabled with working a job. I explained that to the judge. My son, I homeschooled him. He is going to go to Purdue. He has a scholarship that pays up to $50,000 for the year. My eldest daughter has graduated with a master's degree. So I have been functioning. I've been living in the same house now, and that was reported. I've been living in the same house for 3 years, never ever once been late on rent. In all of my entire life, I have never had a utilities turned off. I've reported all of this, and still I am unfit. When I know that there are many people that have had far worse situations than myself, but the reason why the judges are doing that is because they made a mistake. And since we make a mistake, and this is where it turns into corruption, when we make a mistake, it stays that way. Your mother will be abused. Your brother will have the right to have her abused. She will pay $300 a month on a car that she can never ride in. It stays on a flat. The neighbors all see that car sitting there. She will pay, and she will pay, because you will not show this justice system to have been flawed. Show the truth that we are corrupt. So please, like our Facebook. This is our story. Our family is suffering. My son, my daughter, we've all told the story. We've had friends to call the Future Choices, Inc. They are the ones that the court appointed over them, and they don't care. They refuse, outright refuse to do anything. We have been reporting abuse ever since January of this year, and as you know, it's August now. Months and months and months. My mother has been cursed out, told that my brother would burn the house down if she tried to move him out of her house. She's been threatened that he would kill her. I truly, truly believe that he has said all of these things to her, because this is the way he is. My brother has called me all kind of names. I'm not even going to repeat them here. Bees, psycho bees, threatened to break my son's neck if he thought that he was going to stop him from calling me these nasty names in front of him. My brother's own son, a minor son at 12 years old or 13, he was in the house at the time that my brother was calling me fat bees. He heard it. He heard him threaten to break my son's neck when my son said, "Man, I'm not going to keep standing here and let you call my mother out of her name. I will break your neck. Come on, jump. She's a fat bee." That's what he said. Why do we have to live like this? The house is in a nightmare now because he's on a rampage. So that's our story. That's what we live with. And we're in a small city that does not give a care. I have called the mayor's office. I am talking to this Tammy lady, but I think that all of them have to favor whatever Haas is saying. So that means that my mother must be abused. That means that I must be abused. That means that my son must be abused. That means that my daughter must be abused. She recently lost $300 because she had to change the locks on her car because she couldn't stay in the house. Once my brother gets in the house, calling all kind of names and going on a rampage. So we're just telling you our story. Please pass it around, subscribe, and thank you so much for listening, and God bless. You have a wonderful day. God bless you.